Most people think credit repair is just about sending generic dispute letters and hoping for a lucky break. But these bureaus are really reporting agencies and collection agencies. They aren't playing a game of luck. They are playing a game of law. And if you don't know the exact rules that you're supposed to be following, you are bringing a knife to a gunfight, essentially. Today we're going to be skipping out the fake hacks and going straight into the actual federal law book, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I'm going to give you 4 laws that forces deletions, hold creditors accountable, and can even put money in your pocket if they violate your laws or your rights. Let's break down the actual legalese into real leverage. Now, I am going to be toggling back and forth between the FCRA book, which I'm going to show you how to find it yourself on Google, and I'm also going to be pasting the link in the description. I'm going to be showing you that book and also going into its contents. Everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video is being pulled straight from the government, basically straight from the FCRA. Alright, now what is FCRA? It basically helps us consumers with these reporting agencies. If it wasn't for the FCRA, they could do whatever they want, how long they want. They can do whatever they want to us consumers. Now, the FCRA is a law that is ensuring that these credit reporting agencies are actually following the law, that they're actually reporting accurate information, alright, so that way we consumers, we're not being subjected to just their incorrect reporting. So making sure that we have an eye on everything that is being reported and make sure that everything that is being reported is accurate. Alright, first thing first is section 605, found on page 23 of the official book. This is the law that sets the legal expiration date for negative items. The bureaus love to keep damaging info on your credit report for as long as they want. Alright, but section 605A explicitly tells us, the consumers, just how long these reporting agencies can keep negative items on your report. Alright, now we're going to be going to page 23 of the FCRA. Again, the link is going to be in the description. Now, for those of you who would like to be able to access it on yourself or by yourself, I am going to be showing you how. Now, all you're going to do here is put FCRA book 2026, and it should be this first link. This is the book right here. And that's the book that I'm going to be toggling back and forth between this book and also my slides, okay? This is how it should look. Now, it was just recently revised in March of 2026, okay? Now, there's a whole bunch of legalese here, and I'm going to be breaking down 4 sections here. And you're going to be able to use those sections that I'm going to be breaking down to getting deletions off of your report. First thing first, we're going to go to page 23. Now, you may have to put 26 into here just because their first few pages are not counted. Alright, so page 23. Alright, now look, let me get this a little bigger for you guys here. Alright, so bankruptcies, right? You see here that antedate means, ante is a prefix, means before. Alright, for longer than 10 years, a bankruptcy cannot be on your report. Now, civil suits, civil judgments, records of arrest is 7 years. Now, paid tax liens, 7 years as well, as you can see here, and as well as accounts paid for collections. So those of you who are dealing with collections who wants to wait the 7-year period, it says it right here in black and white. Okay, 7 years. It cannot be on your report for longer than 7 years plus 180 days. All right, so it's really like 7.5. It's 7.5 years. Okay, 7 years and 6 months. All right. Now, this section here kind of goes over what is the expiration date for these accounts, so that way you know exactly how long these negative items are going to be remaining or reporting on your report. Now, as far as the 180 days that I was telling you about, this right here is very crucial, so stay tuned. Now, if you turn to page 24 of the FCRA, you're going to be seeing this section here, this last section, alright, towards the bottom. Alright, now the law strictly states that the 7-year clock on the delinquent account placed for collection begins exactly 180 days from the original delinquency that led to the collection action. Okay, now look, what does this actually mean? Alright, what does this actually mean for you? Negative accounts have a hard legal death date, you know, quote unquote. A late payment or a collection agency cannot haunt your credit report forever. Once an account goes bad, the clock starts ticking, and at the 7-year mark, it must drop off. And don't let some sketchy collection agency trick you. They cannot buy a 5-year-old debt and restart that clock. All right, that is a massive illegal practice, and it's called re-aging. And on section 605, right, that's your legal shield against that right there, the re-aging. It starts based on the first missed payment. For example, if you stop paying your credit card in January of 2020, you never catch up, the creditor sends it to collections in August 2020, right? The law says take the original delinquency date, which is January of 2020, add 180 days to it, which is about 6 months, all right? So it's 7 years plus 180 days, so roughly 7.5 years from the original delinquency that led to the collection. Now, this part is one of my favorites because this one, it really protects you when these collection agencies or reporting agencies are being lazy. 30-day window. This is the law that tells us how long it's supposed to take for a reporting agency to be able to do their investigation. All right. And if they can't verify within that 30-day time, they have to remove it. And I'm going to take you exactly in the book where it says that. Now, section 611 is going to start on page 59. It says here, I'm going to highlight this for you real quick. It says that the agency shall, free of charge, conduct a reasonable reinvestigation to determine whether the disputed information is inaccurate, all right, and record the current status of the disputed information or delete the item from the file in accordance to paragraph 5 before the end of the 30-day period beginning on the date on which the agency receives the notice of the dispute from the consumer or reseller. What does that mean? 30 days. They have 30 days. Now, below here, they can do an extension if they need more time, of course, but it cannot be more than 15 additional days. That's why I always tell my clients, please allow us 30 to 45 days for you to get results for your first round, okay? Because it takes 30 days, but sometimes they extend it 15 additional days, all right? Now, this really only happens when you send them additional information while they are investigating within that 30-day period. But sometimes I've seen them take an extra 15 days without us sending any additional things. So that's why I always tell my clients, please give us up to 45 days because you have to have patience with credit repair. And I always say this, it took years for your credit to get that bad. I had terrible credit. It took me years, trust me. So it is going to take some time for you to be able to improve your score. All right. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't seen cases where in 1 month my clients will be done, right? But I want to make sure that your expectations are clear. And as well as when you're doing this yourself, I want to make sure that you know how long this is going to take. Typically, credit repair takes 3 to 6 months. That's what I've seen it with my clients. Sometimes it will take longer. Trust me. I've seen it take 8 months. It really depends on what's on the file. Let's move on. Now, I want to make sure that you guys know exactly what the steps are going to be like. You dispute. You initiate the process by disputing. You notify the credit reporting agencies that, hey, there's inaccuracies here. They're going to investigate, sometimes reinvestigate. And according to the success that you have with that round, is going to lead to either a deletion or a verified account letter. Now, when you get those deletions, you're happy. When you get those verification letters or verified letters, you're also happy because, look, you know that you're in the battle. When you're in a fight, you have to be willing to take a punch. Now, these punches are going to come. Now, that's why you typically would hire someone because it's going to decrease the amount of punches that you're going to take. But, of course, in life, there's punches. Even when you hire a professional, it's still going to take time. Now, if you want to do this yourself, you can because the information is readily out there. But just know that you're going to be getting punched a lot, especially in the beginning because you're doing this for the first time. But let's get it going. Let's move on. Now, this is one of my favorite sections. Honestly, the whole book, I enjoy the whole book. On page 88, sometimes these lenders, these banks, they know that they're reporting information that is inaccurate, and they report it anyway. Now, the FCRA protects us from just that, right? And you can leverage page 88. I'm going to show you section 623, how you can leverage that to be able to get deletions. Let's go over to page 88 right now. So this is page 88 here, all right? Section 623, okay? Page 88. This law shifts the legal burden from the credit bureaus directly onto the furnisher, meaning the banks, the credit card companies, and debt collectors who supply the data, okay? Now, right here on page 88, section 623, A1A states, a person shall not furnish any information relating to a consumer to any consumer reporting agency if they know or have reasonable cause to believe that the information is inaccurate. Now, I am going to scroll down to page 91, section 623A3, all right? So basically, if the completeness or accuracy of any information is disputed to a person by a consumer, the person may not furnish the information to any consumer reporting agency without notice that such information is disputed. Basically, this means that this is your leverage against aggressive collectors. It is a federal crime for a company to report information they know is wrong. More importantly, the moment that you send a dispute letter directly to a collection agency, they cannot report that account to Equifax, Experian, or TransUnion without adding a flag that says something like account disputed by consumer. If they update your credit report and leave the dispute tag off, they just violated section 623A. All right. Now, if you caught them red-handed, definitely reach out to me because I can get you in touch with an attorney and get you paid. Now, under section 616, if a consumer reporting agency or a furnisher willfully fails to comply to any requirement or this law, they face severe civil liability. The law allows the consumer to recover actual financial damages sustained. Now, it's really between 100 to 1,000 per violation, and they also have to cover your attorney fees and legal costs. Now, if they claim it was an intentional, section 617 holds them liable for negligence, non-compliance, which still covers you from your actual damages and full attorney fees. This law turns credit repair from acting nicely into a financial threat. If a bureau, a credit bureau or debt collector ignores your rights, right, and they're careless and they refuse to delete the unverified account, you can sue them because the law forces them to pay your lawyer, right, pay you. The moment that a debt collector realizes that you know section 616, 617, you stop being a target and start looking like a massive financial liability they need to settle with immediately. I'm going to show you where it says this in black and white before we continue. Now, this is on page 80, okay? Now, it says right here, actual damages sustained by the consumer as a result of failure or 1,000, whichever is greater. Such amount of punitive damages as the court may allow. All right. Now, this is page 80 here. I'm going to allow you to read this on your own. But here it is right here in this section where it tells you that you will be paid pretty much $100 up to $1,000 per violation. Now, look, stop looking for magic shortcuts. The real secret is simply reading the rules of the game. Right? Reading the rules of the game, holding these companies to the exact standards written in this book. Right? This right here is called the FCRA. I'm going to go back to the first page. FCRA, Fair Credit Reporting Act. All right. Now, this was revised in March of 2026. If you want a copy of this, definitely drop a comment and I'll send it out to you. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel so that way I can continue posting videos that's going to help you get straight to the point with these collection agencies, with these credit reporting agencies. I'll see you in the next video. Be great.